All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am just here to continue moving on with our early to mid game transition in Timberborn on the same map I was playing before. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and just hit continue. It's the last save I was playing. So we're going to get loaded up here and we will get caught up with the beavers. And I'm starting right where I left off. I haven't played this save at all since the last stream, so you haven't missed anything if you're coming in for the first time. And I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping here and setup. Game is paused. Just started a 5-day drought, so that's going to be fun. And then let's see. I'm just going to say, just going to put a little welcome in the chat. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight. If you're enjoying my content, please give me a follow. This is a community themed channel, so say hello and feel free to strike up a conversation. Yeah. And that's the truth. So let's chat. Anything you have questions about. Excuse me. Doesn't have to be about Timberborn. Doesn't have to be about any other specific game. Just, if you want to talk in general. I'm always happy to talk about game development and even how to get started in game development if that's an interest of yours. So anyway, barring that, and until I start hearing from folks and seeing people trickle in, I'm going to just go ahead and focus on the game here. So where I left off last time, I'm pretty good shape, I think, with beavers. I've got 7 unemployed right now, so that's a good thing. I've got room to grow, 2 beds available, 10 children, so that's another 12 workers that will eventually be shuffling in, not counting any losses from deaths, dying of old age. And then what I was trying to do here is start getting a water wheel block hooked up to some windmills as I extend toward where I'm going to build my industrial block. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. I see I don't have a lot of wood stockpiled, but I do have some maple trees ready to cut down. But I may only have... Well, right now I've got 3 because this lumberjack can actually reach this forest. So I'm kind of all right there. And then just to kind of keep the production flowing, I'm going to actually mark these maples is available to cut. I'm going to cut those right down to here because that's where I'm starting to get into my chestnut trees. And I don't want to start cutting those down yet because that's currently a food source for my beavers. So I'd really rather kind of leave that alone. I'm going to clear out a little bit of the cutting area to try and get some performance back, because I know that keeping all these cutting areas open can have an impact on the game's performance. So I think we've cleared out all of these trees, so I can clean this out. We have a tree still growing there, so I'm going to leave that alone, and then I can take out that. Okay. Looking pretty good. I'm just going to clear out what's on the paths here. No trees growing there, nothing there, nothing in here, so, and nothing in there. All right, good enough for now. A little bit more I want to clean up here. May as well get those out, and bada boom. Okay, so tree cutting area set. They'll get those trees out of the way as I go there. And we're still waiting for this tree, 89%. So that's going to be another 3 days before that's ready to chop down. I'm going to go ahead and go to speed 2 just to keep things moving. Last thing I did before saving was put this floodgate up, so I should have ample water on this side of my dam for my beavers to keep drinking. All right, so we're not really waiting on much right now except for these trees to grow, which can be a little tedious, a little boring and annoying, but it is what it is. And in fact, I'm going to just go ahead and go to triple speed just to help this go a little faster. And then I think another thing I'm going to do is actually turn off 2 of these pumps just so that we're not sucking water out of our reservoir too quickly. Do want to keep that water for the entire 5 days, otherwise these crops will start to dry out. This tree farm will start to dry out. Not going to be happy times. So I'm just going to keep all of that running. And we'll see what's going on. I got 213 science points. I think I've already unlocked the small windmill, which is fine. Eventually we're going to build these larger windmills once I have paper manufacturing, and then gravity batteries once I have metal coming in. Metal and gear wheels, because we're going to require quite a few, 40 gear wheels per gravity battery. And what that's going to do is buffer back up some of the energy output from these water wheels and from the windmills that I wind up building back here. And a cool thing about this map that you probably can't nearly as conveniently do in a lot of other maps is I can just build windmills all the way around the outer edge of the map. It's a little ridiculous, it's a little nuts, but you still need the gravity batteries because you will have times during droughts where you're not getting any power from your water wheels, and you're going to have periods of sometimes a day or two with no wind. So you do wind up using those gravity batteries. So it's good to have those for backup. All right, and this tree's at 96%. It's almost there. 65. You know what? 65. I don't even want to wait. I'm just going to tear that one out. Let's see. This one's at 40. That one's going to come out too. This one's at 64. I'm not going to wait for that. I really want to get my power chain going here so that I can get my industrial block started. So I'm going to get this one out. This one's almost done, so I'm going to leave it alone. And then let me see. So what I can do is start putting out the blocking. I'm going to drop the 2 speed for that. And check my wood reserves. Yeah, they're going up a little bit, but still not great. A lot of beavers are thirsty. That's okay. We're in a drought. It's only a few of them right now. I still see there's plenty in reserve here, but none at the pump stations. So we'll deal with that. We'll get back to that. So what I want to do is just, I know already from experience that these windmills get built every 3rd block. So I'm just going to put 2 power connectors in between where each of those small windmills are going to go. And in fact, what do I want to do? How do I want to play this? Okay. So think how I'm going to play this is actually like so. I'm going to take this one out. Yes. And I'm going to put a three-way in there instead, coming down. So a windmill's going to go in here, and I'm going to run power down here to get into my production facilities. And what I'm going to do there, let's see, I still need planks. I've got 65. How am I doing on storage? 343 out of 1,000, no problem. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is, I'm not going to delete this because there's 13 logs here. I don't want to lose those, so I'm going to turn it off, prioritize by haulers so that they'll empty this out faster. And then I will just go ahead and delete this power wheel. Hit play to let that go a little bit. I'll come down to 1 speed. And what I'm going to need to do here is clear out this road. And in fact, you know what? I don't actually need to clear out this road. I think what I'll do instead is go here with a ramp. So I'm going to have another building right here. And then I'm going to have pathing down this way. So this is basically how I'm going to be building my power. I'm going to come down through here into under this bridge and into my first building, and everything else will be connected to that. So let's see. This is empty now, so I'm going to delete it. Yes, I lose the wood, but that's all right. We'll live. We will live. And then just for planning reasons and to get this connected in here, I'll get this going up here. I will mark it lower priority for construction so that they don't waste time jumping right on that. And then let's see, they have not started putting logs there, but they have there. Because what I was thinking of doing is maybe making it come down over here instead, so that I can stairs up here, platform, and stairs down. But that may not wind up being super important, honestly. So I'm just going to leave that there how it is. And one other thing I want to do is prevent beavers from getting stuck as I expand. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop that in there as well. That way it'll be a nice clean shot to build the rest of this power connection here. All right, this tree's ready to go. So this lumberjack should be hitting it pretty quick as his next. Yeah, there he goes. Bada boom. And then I'm going to go ahead and get these hooked up. And let's see, how's that water doing? I've got 1.6 days of drought left. Not too worried about it. We haven't even used half of the water that's there. Even the big lake hasn't even dried up yet at this top level, so not bad. Not bad at all. And with that, I should be able to drop in my first windmill as well. And so these windmills are going to use 20 logs and 20 planks. That's going to be difficult to build the 8 or 10 that I need here to get this all connected, but we got time. What's the hurry? What's the rush? Plenty of maples down here to chop. Might want more woodworkers, actually. Lumberjacks, sorry, to help work on that. I'll just drop one right here to come in from that direction. And you know what? We plan to have one here anyway. So I'm going to put another lumberjack there with another shrub to give him his bonus. You might notice I'm not building a shrub next to this lumberjack flag. This is a temporary lumberjack. I'm just going to be pulling that out once we get more of these trees cleared out. Just doing this right now to get more wood, more logs into the supply chain so that I can get these windmills built. All right. I did kind of slow that down a little bit by taking out the lumber mill that I had over here on the wheel, but we'll be fine. We'll get there. And this drought is almost over. And because I'm good on water, I will open these pumps back up. And because my reservoirs are empty and there's some thirsty beavers, so let's get them their water. All right. Cruising along. Food-wise, 140 berries, 25 carrots, 131 roasted chestnuts or grilled chestnuts, as the case may be. Not too bad, not too shabby. And then I am grilling potatoes and chestnuts. So that's all good stuff. Keeping those cooked down as they come in. Let's see. Yeah, and this gatherer is prioritizing chestnuts over berries. So we're bringing fewer of those in. That's fine. That is A-okay. We don't want those anyway. So I've got power now from a windmill. Kind of sucks. I can't actually access it. I'm not even going to be able to build this windmill because this tree being kitty corner from it is preventing it from being built. You can't have anything tallish or even structurally too close to a windmill. It just won't build. We're at 95%. That's a day and a half. This tree will come out and turn into 8 wood. I'd really rather have the wood right now. So what I can do is just build the next windmill instead. And I could just lay down all the windmills I'm going to need, but yeah, nah, I'm not going to. I'll build them one by one. This is really the one thing I'm waiting on right now. So once I have all this power hooked up, that's going to make a massive difference. I'm going to drop this to 0.5 so this water can begin flowing again. We don't want to overflow, back up and overflow this area. Pretty soon, once I have this industrial block going, we're going to start getting rid of these. Oh yeah, some of my trees were not even getting water because the lake had dried up. So good to see they're getting their fill of water again. So we're going to start going to large water tanks, which store 10 times as much water. Just as soon as we get this industrial block going. All right, this tree, yeah, it's almost there. Tomorrow he's going to pick that up. So I'm going to go ahead and just get the next windmill in line. They'll start building this one as they're getting this tree out. Then I can drop this next windmill in here. And then we got 1, 2, 3 to go before I can get power into here. And I'm going to go ahead and just get that corner in there. Once that corner is in, then I'll do the straight line, hooking it all up. Dooby-dooby-doo. So, yep, that lumberjack should be hitting that tree pretty quick. There he goes. Once that's down, I can slot in this next windmill. I got to clear the wood first. Bada boom. And then I will just go ahead and hook up the next X number of windmills there. I'll get my straight throughs, and then this lumber mill will start building planks for real. And that'll be the beginning of my industrial block. Now, power transfers through buildings in this game, so as long as you have a powered building adjacent to another building, it will transfer power. And I'll show you what that looks like here. If I go to build another lumber mill, when I put it adjacent, you can see that the lumber mill next to it turns cyan. And what that means is that it will be connected to that building for power purposes. So power can transfer from building to building that way. And I am just waiting for more stuff to get connected. I'm out of planks now, so that's unfortunately going to be the limiting factor here. Gotta get those windmills up. And planks are the, yep, planks are the slowdown. So it'll probably be a few days of plank building to get all of those up. No worries. Well, we got time. In the meantime, we're stockpiling some wood. We're gonna need it, and you know what? I might as well just give them something else to work on too, while waiting for those planks to come up. I'm gonna get a bunch of lumber mills in here. I think 4 is enough to start with. May want to add more later down the road. Not gonna worry about that right now though. And we'll see what's going on. Let me check a few things. All right. Alrighty, yes. Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's see. If I click this... no, nothing to see there. All right. One more plank, and they're going to have this windmill online. Yeah, it's a bummer. All this water is going out and away from the... So, to fix that, I really just need to build these water wheels all the way across. So I'm going to go ahead and start those projects. I have a fair amount of wood stockpiled, so I'm not too worried about that. And then I'm also going to get the power connectors between these. Bada boom. Once those are built, Bob's your uncle. Okay, 163, 158. So that's 6 water wheels. I'm only building 5, so there'll still be some wood left over when those are done, in addition to any new lumber that we're currently bringing in. And I'm almost out, as a matter of fact, so most unfortunate. But there's a lot of other wood that I could get out and get to right now. I think I will go ahead and path out here and then throw down... I've got 14 unemployed beavers, so I'm super not worried right now about any of that. So let's see. I have to come out to here to get that going. So I'm going to path this back up to here. And then I'm just going to add cut trees to cover all of that. Cut trees to cover all of this, plus the one I missed. And back out of that. And that's going to help bring in some more lumber that I'm about to lose from all these water wheels that I've got coming up. All right. And so 3 more planks, and we are rocking and rolling. 1 more plank. Baby, baby, baby. Gonna have like no end of planks once that comes up. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this hole in with a carrot. And my food is not going up very quickly. So what that tells me is that the current farming and food gathering scenario is not going to support adding more beavers to this district at this time. So I'm going to have to find ways to change that. Might be a good time to start stockpiling berries again, and I can help get there by throwing another gatherer out here somewhere, probably right here. And they're not going to have any focus. Prioritize nothing. That way they will get both berries and chestnuts. so that they're helping bring in high quality food in addition to the low quality food. All right, so power is hooked up. You can click on any link in a power network to see what its supply and demand is. These are only asking for 200 power. I'm golden. I'm not too worried about power right now. So the next thing, though, is we now need to turn planks into gears. So I'm going to unlock that with my science points. I'm going to drop a couple of gear workshops up here. And then I'm going to start thinking about and planning for future expansion as well. How many things can I get in here, right? So let's see. I've got room for 6 2-tile wide buildings in this block. So I'm going to go ahead and instead of pathing this out, let me think about this for a sec. I am going to want to be doing paper mills. I can go ahead and unlock those with the research points I have now. Their door is in the middle. So you'll see in a second why I'm considering and contemplating this, okay? The other thing I know I'm going to need is grist mills, and I can probably unlock that right now. Yeah, 180 science points. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up, and their door is on the south side. So that tells me that as I'm expanding here, what I want to do is come one in, and then I'm going to do a stairway down, a platform, and then we're going to do a path like so. So the reason for this, why I'm doing this, is we're going to transfer power from this industrial block to this industrial block that I haven't built yet. And it's going to go underneath this this little bridge. So that is what it is and why we're doing it. And then I'm going to just put that power transfer shaft underneath that bridge real quick. And that'll be all ready for future expansion. So grist mill is going to go on the south side, a paper mill on the north side, and Bob's your uncle. Good stuff. Good stuff. And then what's going to fill in here is going to be obviously more of this stuff. And the nice thing is, if you don't need it right now, you can build it now and then pause the use of that building. So as a matter of fact, I think I will just go ahead and drop in a couple more gear shops. Let's see. A couple more lumber mills. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and do a lumber mill here for transferring the power. But up on the other side, I'm going to do my first paper mill. As you can see, the door is unobstructed there. So, boom! So that is my whole block. And let's see. I can even deprioritize building some of these so that my beavers aren't wasting a lot of time. Bring that one down. Bring that one down. Bring this one down. And let's bring that down. Well, actually, let's do that. Okay, so now they're going to build them roughly in priority order. I've got tons of power, way more power than these buildings need, but remember, that's only when these windmills are actually running. So if these windmills stop, I'm completely at the behest of these water wheels. All right, and then I'm going to hook these up power-wise. Oh, and I see I haven't even hooked this up yet. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. And then I'm going to set up the straight-through shafts. And that'll get this line connected up to this whole chain. Not getting any flow through these wheels still because the resistance is still forcing water back the other side. That will become a little easier to mitigate after the next drought when the water begins pushing all together at the same time. It'll rebootstrap. But once you have an established flow kind of set up, water tends to keep flowing in that direction. You can see that it's slowly working back to the right as this wheel starts to spin up faster and faster. But again, the best way to bootstrap that is just to wait until after a drought. Another thing I could do is just build a couple more water wheels out here to help push some of the flow back. I'm not going to worry about that right now too much. These guys are generating massive amounts of power for the moment. You'll see as we get into early mid-game, that power is going to get eaten up pretty quick. Pretty quick. All right. So food is going to be an ongoing issue. I think what I need to do is start planting further out. So I'm going to go ahead and extend my carrots here. I'm going to extend my potatoes. I see I can plant this carrot. And I will go ahead and get these up. I don't see any more trees I'm waiting on. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this lumberjack. And as soon as this is emptied, I'm going to prioritize it by haulers. As soon as it's emptied, I can reclaim this little square for farming. And both of my farms can reach that. So no problemo. Nothing's in stock, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I've only got 4 unemployed beavers now. It's because of all these factories. So I don't need all these gears being produced right now. Or do I? I'm going to go ahead and pause one in the back. Just for the moment. I do need a lot of planks, but do I have the wood to support that much plank production? That's the real question. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the one in back. The reason I pause the ones in back first is they're further away, so they take haulers longer to get to, both to take goods to and receive goods from. So I'm leaving that out. Got a paper mill up. I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to go ahead and let that run for now. That will allow me to start building the larger windmills. But I think I need 1,400 science points, yeah, to be doing those guys. So, let's see, I've got 6 of these. I don't need that many running. I'm going to go ahead and pause this one and back as well. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep an eye a little bit on the resources there. Storage is good, not even half full yet. Boop boopy doo. Boopy dooby dooby doo. Might be time to get another farmhouse out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And that'll just keep the food flowing better. They're going to focus on harvesting because I've already got a planter. And one harvester. All right. So I can delete this little road. It's just doing nothing but blocking my... Oh no. What happened here? I planted the wrong crop. Well, let's get some taters. I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, so if you want to not lose the crop you've already started growing... You can do this clear planting area, and it will grow to completion. They'll harvest it, and then you can replant it later. Or you could just kill it, and but to kill it, you'd have to have a worker come out, a builder come out, and clear that. So I'm gonna just let it grow to completion there. And then I think I'll do one more row of potatoes. Potatoes. Because you can see I have carrots stockpiling a little bit, and I'm planting a bunch of new ones too. But potatoes, I haven't seen stockpiling. Granted, your beavers will go for the highest quality food first. The baked potatoes are higher quality than carrots, so they are eating those first. But I'd ideally like to see both of them coming up in numbers. And the reason you want to stockpile is, one, so that you don't get completely screwed. Hey, John O'Frost, thank you for the follow. How you doing tonight? Let me know in chat. One is you don't want to get screwed by a drought. If your crops all die, you need a stockpile to fall back on for the 6 days it takes to start getting carrots again and the 12 days it takes to start getting potatoes again. So that is one reason you want to stockpile. The other reason is, as you expand into additional districts, you need to give them food to start off with until they can feed themselves. So you need a stockpile of food to be able to do that. Hey, how are you doing this evening, this Monday night? All right, I'm gonna let these guys chill. Timberborn stream. Yeah. What map is this? So this is a custom map that I've built. I just call it Huge Lake. I just wanted to experiment with what would it be like if you just took a big map and filled it with a giant lake, right? So that's kind of the theme here. There are mines in opposite corners to be able to get metal, and some ruins to pull down in order to get your starter metal and start getting your industrial block going. This is my second stream playing on this map, so I'm kind of going from early game to mid game, getting my initial industrial block set up here. And then I'm going to expand that industrial block out this way as I go. And pretty soon I'll be working on trying to get another district set up down here to start farming this metal so that I can do more interesting things like gravity batteries. Yes, I have played this a ton. This is one of my favorite games. It's been in early access for around a year now, and I've been pretty active in the forums, the developer forums for the game, kind of suggesting, some tweaks and ways to better control some things like water flow. Unfortunately, they've never taken any of my advice. I think that the height on these floodgates should be a little bit more incremental, like maybe the ability to go by tenths. Instead of by half heights. Oops. that little surge that I just did there by raising and lowering it caused a back pressure wave, which flooded out some of my buildings and crops here. So I just dropped it to 0 to hopefully get it to, yeah, there it goes, to drain that out. So yeah, I'm just, what I've been working on here is getting a little bit more crops, and yeah, right, even quarters would be better than what we have right now. So I mean, if you think about it, it's a floodgate, right? There should be a crank wheel or something you can adjust to very finite amounts. Not on this map, but on a lot of other maps that I've played and a lot of the default maps that come with the game. You really need that fine control a lot of the time. So it's a bummer when it's not there. And I'm at a point where I'm pretty much at wood exhaustion now. These log piles are not staying full, and that's because all of this industrial is stealing most of that wood as soon as it comes out. But I'm now in a comfortable place where I know I'm going to be generating enough planks that I can begin to move my waterworks off of the dry land and out into the wet land, so that the reason I do this is basically so I'm not wasting valuable space I could be farming. Yeah, so what I'm going to do with that is just start building some platforms coming out here. And then what I'm going to do is drop these off the back so that they're collecting water on this side. And I'll show you why I'm leaving this blank a little bit later. I'm going to basically do some aquatic farming there. So let's see. And then these need to come up here. So path is going to go on that line. Pumps on these two lines. And let me see. What am I thinking? Yes, and then water storage will be going on this line. And I'm trying to think. Yeah. That's fine. That'll work. I'm just going to go ahead and do all that. All right. So it'll take them a while to build all that out. This is going to be kind of temporary structure because when I tear these out, the actual row that they connect from is going to be up here. But just for now, I'm going to go ahead and build this pathing so they can get out there and do stuff. Yeah, sometimes, you really want to control the flow. I noticed that a lot of times you'll get like back pressure waves that will keep flooding and unflooding buildings and crops and stuff. If you could just lower it by like 1/10 instead of a whole half of a level, that's probably enough to prevent a back pressure wave from continually flooding and unflooding things. So yeah, I hear you. I feel you. I don't know how they wrote the game code, so I don't know how efficient it is for them to do those tiny increments. But I suspect if it were easy to implement, they probably would have already done it by now. So I suspect it's something with their game code that's just difficult. For now, I'm going to put another water pump out here because I want to start tearing these two out as soon as possible. And so I just want to make sure I have that pump available. And I'm pretty much out of employable beavers once that's built as well. So interesting times. We are building up some berry stock, but I'm still not seeing carrots and chestnuts come up very quickly right now. So I think I need to give these crops a little bit more time to stabilize. And another thing I could do, no, I'm not going to bother with that. I was going to say I could get the forester to plant some more berry bushes, but berries are the bane of my existence and always what winds up filling my warehouses up. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, to collect more berries, I'm just going to throw another gatherer flag over here and let them start grabbing some of these berries. Another thing I can do is throw a gatherer way over here to start getting some chestnuts. So I think I will go ahead and drop a platform there. And then once they've built that, have a gatherer there, and they'll start collecting all these chestnuts on the other side of the river and bringing those in. Extra food is what I'm looking for right now so that I can continue to grow. Yeah, really, I mean, berries, the beavers don't even like to eat it. It's the lowest quality food. They get no benefit, no net benefit other than filling their belly. So, yeah. But what berries are really good for is they weigh very little, so they're easy to transport to your next district to give them food to eat while they get set up and get their farms going. So they're not completely useless, but at a certain point, they do become of dubious use and just start filling up your storage. One thing they haven't given us yet that like everybody has been begging for since I started playing this is a way to get rid of things that are stockpiled that you don't need. Yeah, bread is amazing, but but you make so much of it. One wheat turns into 5 loaves of bread. So you don't need even a ton of wheat to feed your beavers. And remember, they get different bonuses from different foods. So you want to have a good balance of carrots, potatoes, and bread. Uh, Additionally helpful are grilled spatterdock and the grilled chestnuts. So sunflower seeds are nice because it gives you another point of satisfaction from your beavers. But honestly, I think the biggest thing I use the sunflower seeds for is making fuel in the late game. So I don't think I don't think it's a high quality food as far as beavers are concerned. They usually don't eat it that much. So all right, potatoes, drop that in there. Now I got a nice pretty contiguous farm. And let's see. Am I waiting on anything? I've got a ton of gears. I've got a ton of planks. You know, I've got too many planks. I'm going to turn off this one in the back. And I'm going to turn off this one in the front. I'm going to turn off one of the gear workshops for now. I don't want to oversaturate my storage capability right now. And I'm going to go ahead and eat a ton of planks right now by building my next storage here. And yeah, I know you weren't with me the last stream, but I have this fun, funky thing I do with my storage facilities where with the large warehouses, I build them in a pyramid like this. So it's just a thing. It's neat. I like to stack a little bit. I've seen some other folks do some crazy vertical construction in this game, but I'm not a huge fan of the crazy vertical construction. It requires like a lot of thinking, and beavers still have to travel a pretty long distance up and down stairways and around things to go vertical. So I try to keep it a little bit low. And this is just one of my cute things that I do until I get to unlocking underground warehouses. And you can certainly rush right past these, but you know, it's personal choice. I just like building a pyramid, usually like in my first 2 settlements. By the time I've got those 2 districts pretty well set up, I'm already onto underground facilities and doing those. Oh, drought started. So let me close these so I'm not losing water. And like long term, like late game, I want to have a district down in this area that's going to be mining this mine for metal, and they'll put up another dam down here. And then I'll have full control over the lake and its flow. All right. So 4-day drought shouldn't be a problem. I am going to go ahead and pause these 2 water pumps and frankly tear them out. I don't need those to be there anymore. So as soon as their water is gone, and I'm going to prioritize these by the haulers to speed that up. As soon as that water is gone, I'm going to go ahead and tear these down. And move those to the water. I am going to go ahead and get a jump on a stairway there and a stairway here. And then the same thing opposite. And you'll see why in not too long. I'm going to build a 2x3 on each one of these. Do. And I'm just going to go to triple speed and speed some of this up a little bit. Water is still in here. Interesting. All right, this one's empty now. And this one's empty now. Cool. All right, so now I can reroute this path. And then I can tear down this pathing. And then what I'm going to do is get new water pumps out here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these holes. Come down to speed 2. Now that I have those holes filled, even though they haven't built it, I can go ahead and get my water pumps out there. Now, again, why am I building these on platforms out over the water? Because I'm doubling up the use of my space. These water pumps are sitting above water that normally wasn't being used for anything, and freeing up green land that I can now use for farming. And to those ends, what I'm going to do is go ahead and connect that path there. Tear these paths out. And now I can plant some more trees there. I'm just going to put all maples. I have plenty of pine trees for my short-term, regularly cycled wood. So I'm fine there. I'm not going to worry about that. And then eventually, once I get these out of here, that'll be more carrots. Now I'm doing pretty good. See, I've got a 175-ish carrots built up. Baked potatoes are starting to build up. Grilled chestnuts are still about the same. And I've got berries building up. So again, that's all important for drought protection and starting up another district. And I need to get more beavers out. So I'm going to go ahead and build my next triple lodge. And I already had the pathing hooked up for that. And let's see, that also opens up space for me to get more well-being up there with rooftop terraces. Got to keep those beavers happy. And breeding. Remember, the bonus that you get from campfires and rooftop terraces is increased fertility. So you get a higher chance of getting babies born at night when there's free beds. So there are net benefits to keeping your beavers happy too. And yeah, I'm at wood starvation. We're not even able to keep these log piles going. An unfortunate state of affairs. All right, so nearly 800 at one storage facility, nearly 300 at the other. Doing pretty good on storage at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Got tons of paper. Got a fair amount of gears. I'm going to go ahead and just look at... Oh yeah, the 1,400 science points. That's going to be the main thing holding me back from these large windmills. An important note, too, about the large windmills. They will run oftentimes when the small windmills don't. So in addition to giving up to double the power, they also seem to run a little bit more frequently. So it is good to diversify where you're getting your power generation from. And the next thing I'm going to do... Yeah, I got to think about this a little bit here. I think what I'm going to do, we need more wood. So I'm going to go ahead and open up all this maple here just to get that out of the way. I've got a lumberjack that can reach all of it. And this lumberjack can as well, as can this guy. So, all right, we're all good. Um, Another thought is I could start taking some of this chestnut wood out of here because it is kind of in the way a little bit. So I will go ahead and trim a little bit of these out of here. I'll go ahead and go to this line here, add that. And so remember again, my trench, I'm planning to bring down this line right alongside this path in order to carry the green belt inland for more farming. So that is actually going to be pretty important to work on soon. And then I'm going to clear out that logging area. There are no trees in here, so I'm going to clear that out. And yeah, if you're just joining me, why do I clear out these tree areas? I've noticed it has a noticeable impact on performance to the game. So as you clear these areas out, it helps keep the game running smoothly. He's out of stock with nothing to do, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that lumberjack. I'm going to tear down the path that was to him because I probably won't want a path there in the long run. And, you know, I've got this little space here that auspiciously is exactly the right size for an inventor. And I do need some more research points, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that in. And let's see. Got that power wheel coming out there. Got an injured beaver, but that's okay because I've already set up over here a bunch of medical beds. So I'm all set with that. I'm going to go ahead and get some shrines to fill in the space between those and get my beavers a little bit more contentment in the process. Those do take up 20 logs a piece though, and I'm pretty lumber starved, so it will take a while to get those built. Let's see, drought's almost over. That's a good thing. And since it is, I'm going to go ahead and tear out these water pumps. They're all empty, so they can go. And now that frees up more space to be gardening. All of these farms can reach all the way across that green belt there that just opened up. So I'm actually going to put in my first wheat. And again, you don't need a ton of it. Bread makes like crazy. One single wheat makes 5 loaves. So while this won't be enough to feed this entire district in the long run, it is enough to start building some loaves of bread and helping with longevity. Whoops, the drought's over. We got to open that floodgate or we just start backing this up terribly bad. And I'm going to put it up to half. You know, quite honestly, there's little reason to even put it at half. I'm going to just put it at 0. Keep this water flowing real strong through here. And you can see, like I said, when you bootstrap coming out of a drought, the water is going to flow evenly again once you have pressure evenly across. So this is all running hella strong now, getting like 140 to 150 horsepower off of each of these wheels. So good stuff. Alrighty. And food is not, I don't feel like it's an issue right now anymore. I've done a lot to add a lot more food production capability in here. So I'm not going to build these aquatic farms just yet. I've reserved the space for them just for like being prepared, but I'm not going to actually begin water farming right now. What I really need is large water tanks now. So I'm going to go ahead and start dropping these in. You know what? I want to build them vertically. So before I do that, I'm going to need more platforms. And the reason I'm building that in the order that I just built it is because that order is the order that they're going to put those platforms in. So, all good stuff. And remember, I've got one unemployed beaver right now. But remember, I've set my hauling post to the lowest priority. And so if I do have other work needs, they'll come out of that. All right. And I'm just getting pinged here real quick about something. So I'll be dealing with that a little bit off and on, but I'm still playing. Beavers are pretty good at taking care of themselves here, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, and I can start building those large water tanks. They're going to go in right like so, in that order. And I have to get paths in to hook them up. So I think for where we're at right now with roughly 70 beavers, 3 storage tanks plus the am I paused? I'm paused. Okay. Well, I'm going to go to speed 2. Ought to be enough to keep those going. All right. And then I'm probably going to need some more water pumps. So I'm going to just plan ahead. Build that platform there. I want space for 2 more water pumps. So I'm going to go 4 wide, and then space for 2 more eventually of the water tanks as well. And so again, I build water storage on the water as well as my pumps so that they're not taking up valuable greenbelt space where you need to be farming. Oh look, there's one more little slot for carrots. So I'll drop that in there. All right. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, just being mildly taken to task on a comment I made in a forum. It happens. People take things the wrong way. So I'm gonna go ahead and empty out these 2 smaller tanks since I have my first large tank up. Remember, these large tanks hold 10 times as much capacity as the small tanks. So these 2 small tanks going in there, not a problem. Not going to be a thing. So I'm going to go ahead and delete each of those and put down more carrots. All right. There we go. Alrighty. So things are humming along. Let's see. There's 12 children. I've got 2 jobs that are unfilled, though, at the moment. Yeah, and that's another cool thing to point out. Once you build stairs down into water, beavers can actually swim through that to place things. So that's another convenient tactic. You're actually going to see me doing that a lot as I get more into mid-game. Let me double check that that's cuttable. It's not set to be cut right now. So let's go snip that maple tree. But yes, so one of the things I do with explosives is make kind of like what I consider to be like a backup spot by exploding one down in the water. So that even if the top layer of water is all evaporated or used up, you still have some green belt protection. It's not going to protect everything because it's one tile lower, but it does help buffer in the event that you get a bad drought condition. That, you know, it'll help keep your trees and or crops watered that much longer. So and to get down into those areas to set those explosives, it's useful to have these stairs down. But the real reason I put these in here is when I start doing aquatic farming in this space, the beavers need to be able to get down into this area in order to do that aquatic farming. It's not important right now to get aquatic farming set up because I've got plenty of overstock on food. In fact, I need to check my storage, and it's probably time to build another storage facility. So I'll get that set up. And they're gonna build these platforms out here first, probably. Or I could be wrong. Okay, good. Yeah. They're gonna build those platforms first. Let's see. Concern, Yeah. Who mods the mods? That is the question. Deal with it. Huh. Oh, okay. Nope. I just put one and one together in my head about what this conversation is about. It's just silliness. All right, so let me see. I think one of my next goals is going to be to get more beavers. So, hey, Cat Dad, thanks for the follow. Let me know how you're doing tonight. Jump on in the chat and say hello. This is a community-based channel. I encourage strongly discussions. Let me know how you're doing, and if this is your first time seeing Timberborn, let me know what you think of the game. Been playing this for a long time, and it is a super-duper fun game. Very relaxing, but actually has some challenging aspects to it. Dealing with droughts and doing water management. Who thought water management could be so darn fun? But it turns out it is. Oh, yeah, I just realized I also want showers for my beavers. Where's going to be a good place to set that up? So this is going to be my trench. I think I can put a couple showers right here. So I will go ahead and drop those in there. I need to unlock them. 50 science points. No big deal, no big deal. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap. And then we just build those on those platforms with the back end hanging out to collect the water. Now, you'll notice that's on the other side of the dam, so these won't be running during a drought once the lake is dry. That's okay. The beavers will survive without their showers for a couple days. Mental break from Project Zomboid. Yeah, I hear that. I have a few friends that play Project Zomboid, and it looks pretty intense. I've checked out a couple of their streams, and I can't blame you. So, yeah, this is a pretty chill game. City builder combined with some resource management. And it's cute little beavers. I'll zoom in on some cute little beavers here. I'm going at pretty high speed, so they're flying past. And they make funny noises too. They talk funny. good old beavers. So yeah, I play pretty far zoomed out all the time, so you don't get to see them so much. But awesome. Well, I'm glad it's looks good enough for you to purchase. I'm still kind of in early game, so playing a single map of this to get it kind of just how you want it can take many days, possibly weeks, depending on how many hours you can play every day. So it is an endless source of fun. There's different maps. You can customize the difficulty levels. You can set it to absolutely punishingly brutal difficulty levels if that's your kind of thing. I'm actually playing on normal difficulty in this playthrough, and kind of the goal of this playthrough is really just to kind of show how to play, like how you want to think about things and process things and think ahead about your planning. So let me see. I think the next thing, I'm checking the range on that forester. I don't need this gatherer anymore, so I'm going to toss that, and I'm going to pull out all of these berry bushes because they'll continue to spread and grow if you don't manage them. So I'm just going to get a bunch of these out of the way for when I get to that trench. And it's going to be a little while before I get to that trench because based on progression, before I can start making explosives, I need metal. To do metal, I need to build another district down here and start collecting this metal, sending it back up here where it can be processed and turned into metal blocks from scrap metal. So there's a little bit of stuff I need to do to get to that. And that's kind of the mid-game transition, basically. So I'm almost done with early game. And once I get this lodge set up and I have more beavers available, I'll be in a good position to start sending them off to a new district. Speaking of which, there's no reason I can't start planning that right now. And so what I'm going to do is path in the rest of my housing block here. So this is roughly all the housing I think I'm ever going to need for this district. That'll easily house, see, I'm at 69 right now. I'm going to be able to get 2 more of the 9 beaver things in, and then another 12 there, so that's a total of 30. So that's going to put me around 100 beavers, and that's pretty comfortable for the first thing. No, there's no military or combat aspect to this game. At this time, I don't think they intend to add one. It's really more of a survival, pure survival and city building game. But in the late game, you can build basically robots to do a lot of the work for you and assign them to either dangerous jobs or jobs that you want higher efficiency at. Because robots work 24 hours a day, and they can carry 40% more. They can work many jobs faster than a natural-born beaver. And the cool thing is if you can get your whole beaver population basically unemployed, they get to have fun and do fun things all day. So if that's a goal for you, to liberate your natural-born beavers from the workaday toil, that is definitely a noble and achievable goal in this game. Personally, that's probably a little too fiddly for me. I feel like the members of this beaver clan appreciate a hard day's work, so I wouldn't want to take that all from them. But that being said, There are some really dangerous jobs like working in the mines and doing dirt digging that are pretty dangerous, and you'll wind up with a lot of injured beavers. So having the robots is useful for some jobs. They're also great haulers. Again, because they can carry more weight, and I think they move faster. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they move faster too. So, welcome back, Jono. Sorry to hear you lost power. Are you experiencing thunderstorms or hail or some other inclement weather there? All right, we got lots of water going. And so the really important thing, you see all these beavers just zipping back and forth between these buildings. That's why you want your water just as close as possible to these pumps, so that they can spend more of their time pumping and less of their time hauling. So the closer they are to these, the better they're going to do there. Unfortunately, that also means having the water so far away from your main population center and workers is they're going to have to walk pretty far to get their drink. Eventually, I could start building water storage a little closer to town, and then they'll fill these up first. Once they're full, they'll start filling up that closer to town water as well. Also, later in the game, I will have more hauling posts, and the haulers will be more capable of moving that water quickly. Oh yeah, hitting the wrong switch, that'll do it. I actually keep all of my systems backed up on UPS or on uninterruptible power supplies to prevent that kind of stuff, because especially as a streamer, like, losing power is devastating. It takes a long time to get back in, and I think your stream protection is only good for about 2.5 minutes. So what you do is build water storage closest to all your people and then use haulers. That's decent and reasonable. I just find that you need a lot more haulers to do that. So, and yeah, all my network equipment is also on the UPSs. So, in fact, the main network hub for my whole house is on its own dedicated small UPS, but it can run for a whole hour on that UPS. So, and that it's just my cable modem and the network hub for all the Cat 5 cable. And that can run for an hour, so it keeps me online for a fair amount of time. We're working on getting solar and some battery backup, whole home battery backup installed, but that's going to take many months and way more money than I care to admit. All right, this guy's got nothing to do out here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that and put one more beaver back in the general population. And just have a look at how things are going. These are all a little under half full. Let's see. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything I'm doing, or what's going on in the game, feel free to let me know, and I'd be happy to explain. I try to explain everything I'm doing, but I know that I miss things. Cat 7? I didn't even know there was a Cat 7. They're still improving Cat 5. Like, we got Cat 5e and Cat 5.4 and Cat 5.8 and like all these other different Cat 5s that are coming out, so that you can get high speeds without having to put in the expensive Cat 6 stuff. There's a Cat 8? No, I don't want to hear that. Oh man, I had no idea. I didn't know it went over 6 at all. So that's crazy. I'm surprised you're not getting into fiber optic by the time you're going past Cat 6. Which is definitely a possibility. I mean, if you need that kind of throughput in your house, I could totally see running it from one side of the house to the other, or from like your house to the in-law house or something. It's 100 gigabit. 100 gigabit? Holy cow, dude. That's nuts. I mean, I kind of have to ask, can a computer even sling bits that fast? I would think that you're like starting to cap into like limitations on spinning disks and stuff. Yeah, good old Australia. Yeah, and the more rural you are in Australia, the worse it is too. So I have some of my friends in Australia are actually on the what is it called? The Skylink stuff that Elon Musk has been doing. Starnet or whatever it's called. He should have just called it Skynet and, you know, completed the prophecy. Oh. Starlink, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not available everywhere. Even most of the US doesn't even have access to it yet. I thought it was funny in the news the other day. Elon Musk said he can't afford to keep giving free Starlink to the Ukrainians because he's been giving it to them for free to help with the war effort. Which is interesting because Russia said if you're letting the Ukraine use it for military purposes, it's a valid target for space warfare. So good old Elon getting himself into all kinds of trouble. Oh, okay. I just realized nobody's coming down and tearing this stuff out because it's too far off a path. If you click your district center, you can see the Scion outline tells you what your beavers can reach. And the way you would extend that reach is by adding paths. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a path down in here. That's going to open up all of this area. And then once they clean this out, I'll just add a path over to get to the rest of this last little bit of stuff. Yeah. Make dirt achievable by beavers, not just golems. And then a requirement for roads. Oh, I don't know if I would agree with that. I don't like the idea of beavers having to dig stuff up to do roads. Personally, plus as a game balance thing, I'm not sure how you would make that work because you wind up building so many roads. And you need to be able to do it like right from the start of a game. A lot of game starts, like for instance on this map, there are no roads. In fact, I think in the map editor you can't even lay initial roads. So you'd have to make it something that they could do intrinsically without like a job site, because a job site has to be connected to a road. So they would have to change some elements of the game to be able to do that. All right. And now they've freed up some space down there. But another bush has grown. So I actually have to give some new commands to get rid of these bushes because they're spreading. They're spreading. And I don't want them. All right. I think that's going to be good. Now I can go ahead and tear out. Yeah, stumps take forever to remove and provide nothing useful. So that may be a good place for a road. I think I'll go ahead and keep it there. Okie dokie. All right, so I got 5 kids right now and 12 unemployeds. And make it buildable like the gatherer/lumberjack. Yeah, but again, you have to have a road to connect gatherer flags and lumberjack flags to. So that was my point, was that if you can't at least have them build roads without a camp like that or a flag, I'm not really sure how that would work mechanically. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start planning the next district. And I'm going to start that by throwing a district gate at a good break point between these districts, which I think I will do down here for now. I mean, this is all, you can change all this later. But basically, you need a district gate to separate the roads from district to district so beavers know where they're allowed to go within their district, if that makes sense. From a game performance perspective, it's also critical because the most expensive part of a game like this where beavers move along paths is what we call pathing calculations. And so beavers are looking at what's the fastest way to get from point A to point B. That is a computationally intense process. And every single beaver, when they decide I want to go to point B, has to calculate that pathing traversal each time they want to move somewhere. So when you have hundreds and hundreds of beavers doing this really intense calculation, the smaller the area they have to consider, which is a district that they live in, the faster that algorithm, that routine runs. So having separate districts is actually a brilliant way that the game developers have found to keep the game running efficiently. So I totally get it. A lot of players, it doesn't make sense, and they point that out quite frequently in the developer forums, that they don't understand why do we have to have multiple districts? I don't understand. It keeps the game running smoothly is the primary reason. Let's see. And then, not district gate, but district center. I'm going to go ahead and drop that. Where do I want to put that? I will go ahead and put it right here. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to run the path right through the front of that and up. And so this will be my next district that I start. And then I'm going to go ahead and get a few basic facilities going first. Have you played RimWorld? Yes, I love RimWorld. I hate RimWorld. It's definitely a love-hate relationship for me. The reason why, it's brutal. I really hate spending. Yeah, it is brutal. I hate spending days and days. Absolutely freaking love the game. It is amazing. But when you invest day after day after day into building these really interesting characters, customizing them, getting them skilled up, etc., and then they take a random shot in the head, it just makes me crazy. So, and I hate save scumming because I always feel terrible for doing stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just a hard relationship. It's a beautiful, fantastic game. I've written many mods for RimWorld, but God, it sucks to lose people you love. I mean, you spend all this time building these characters, building these bases, only to have a mechanoid raid come and just, crush your dreams and hopes. It's, it's super brutal. I think if you can have kind of a fatalist attitude, it will serve you well. In that game, but yeah, like mechs, they'll start coming just when you start to feel like, oh, dude, I'm almost at the point where I can start to handle mechs raiding my base. Like, I've got a lot of stuff set up. I put up turrets. I've got great cover for my guys to fire from. I'm ready to do this. And then a mechanoid base drops on your map in the one place you're not prepared to fight them. And what can you do? Because it's going to trigger a raid if you don't do anything in 3 days, right? So it's like, so, all right, I can set up some sandbags and some fortified positions real quick. And then 2 of your favorite characters take Lancer shots in the head, lose an eyeball, or it hits them in the brain or something, right? It's just, oh, it drives me nuts. So yeah, but otherwise, like, it is a super awesome game. Hands down, love that game. It is fantastic. RimWorld's great. I would recommend it to anybody, especially if they're fatalists and they can handle that. All right, so I'm just getting a couple lumberjacks out here to start gathering wood. As soon as this base gets going, I want a gatherer flag to be collecting berries down there. So I'm going to have to extend this path a bit. And let's see, get a gatherer down there to pick berries. I'm just going to go ahead and bring this down here so I can get everything. All right, and so that's really like these are the main things that you need to get started. Couple wood gathering spots, somebody gathering some food. One thing we need is a drop-off point so that we can get goods from the previous district. And I'm going to need a distribution post, which is going to hand those goods out from district to district. Because this map is fairly linear, well, you know what? I am going to want to build a settlement over here at some point. So I kind of do want this to be a little centrally located. But maybe not that centrally. So I'm going to drop it in here. Oh, that would block my green belt that's going to come in here. So let's see. I will lock that in right there. So that trench for water is going to come through here. And I'll eventually have to make a bridge under there, or over the trench there. All right, so anyway, what's going to happen is this distribution post is going to have special haulers that just haul goods from here, from this settlement, to this drop-off point. Great that they're close together so that they can do that quickly, go back and make another trip. And then this is going to have like the water, the food, some planks, some wheels to basically get these guys going with their stuff. So let's see, what else do I want? So already, if I take this up to 4 workers and I bring it down to slightly lower priority, I need 3 for these gathering posts. I need 4 for that. And you know what? I want another lumberjack because I want these guys to be able to get their own water pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is bada boom, clear all that out so that they can get to the lake and start gathering water. And let's see, what else do I want to do? So that's eight employed beavers that are going to be needed here initially. And go ahead and let this stuff start building. I'm still lumber starved up here, so that's the biggest thing I'm waiting on. Oh, good, they just finished a storage facility. And I needed it. I was pretty close to full, so it's a good thing. All right, and then I'm just going to clear out this conversation. And hopefully that conversation is done. Just getting chastised a little bit from a moderator in a community that I'm in because I made a slightly off-color comment. It happens. I'm a little old. I admit it. Okay. Sometimes I say the wrong thing. It happens. So, yeah, just doing my apologies and due diligence on that. Let's see. And then, all right, so this is going on. This stuff is building. The nice thing about drop-off points, they don't have to be built. Same with district centers. Once you plop it down, it's there. It's ready to roll. And what that means is once this distribution post is built, I can start loading up to 300 items at this drop-off point. So that will be lovely. Once I get there, still lumber starved at this initial location. But you know what? I'm thinking I might start to correct for that a little bit here. Thinking what I might do is put a new forester in the other side of the trench. Give one space there to the other side. And in that space, I can drop in my shrub for the bonus to both the forester and the lumberjack. And a lumberjack flag in front. Now, this trench is going to be covered with the platforms and become a road. So I'm really big on doubling up your utility of a tile. So I'm going to have this water trench bringing water in to allow farming over on this side for both my current district and this new district. But why not make it a path too? And then it's not in the way. All your beavers can walk over it. You have a road on it, and it has utility. It's doing something useful for you. So I love when I can do stuff like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and start getting my maples planted here along this way and down into this way. And that's going to nearly double the number of maples I have that I can cut down. I'm going to go ahead and clear out these bushes too. Not real useful for me at this point. Yeah, these are pesky. I'm going to clear these out so that more trees can grow. And let's see. In fact, I'm just going to get all of those out. I'll just leave these little bushes there. If they reproduce, whatever. And then fill in what used to be bushes with maples and happy trees. What can I say? I mean, it's going to take 30 days for those to fully mature and turn into 8 logs each, but it'll be oh so worth it. Oh, so worth it. All right, how are we doing on building this distribution post? Got all the planks, but not the logs. So, as you can see, I've turned down to only 2 plank makers and 1 gear maker. So, woof. That's brutal. And I do have wheat. I've got 60 wheat already. So I really need to get that grist mill out here. I'm going to go ahead and do that and start turning that wheat into flour. And then that next space back here, I can turn into a paper maker. Look, I've got almost 300 paper. I'm going to shut down my paper mill right now too. Again, all of these are consuming logs. Right now I need those logs for building and construction more than I need them for planks, gears, and paper. So by turning off some of the production, I'm conserving some of my wood. I don't need any more gears right now at all, so I'm going to pause the gear workshop. And again, as you're producing these, you're just taking up more of your storage space as well. So if you go to a more on-demand model, you might occasionally run into situations where, like, oh, you know, now I find myself waiting for gears or planks or whatever. But the flip side of that is you've got logs now. So, and let's see, good. This other forester is going to help. All the cyan area in here he can plant as well. So I should have 2 beavers out here working on planting this new section of forest. And I'm trying to decide how greedy I want to be, because I could start planting some maples over here as well, but I'd be losing chestnuts as a source of food. So I think I'm going to keep the source of food for now. After all, I've got all these new plantings I'm putting in. So I will keep from being too greedy there. Happy trees. That's what this game is all about, happy trees. You can see, I mean, I haven't even got this triple lodge up yet. 31 out of 35. Brutal. This is taking a long time. So, whoa. What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are you guys taking the logs? There we go. Boom. Triple lodge is done. And beavers filled that in right away. So 11 beds right now, 1 child, 18 unemployed, 4 not working. Why is that? Interesting. Why is it saying 4 jobs are unfilled? Where are those at? I'm not sure where there are people not working. And we have a drought coming in 2.2 days. I totally missed the drought warning. But that's fine. Usually it's just a few hours beforehand that you want to put up your floodgates. When I've got this small of an area as reservoir. Oh wow, they haven't even started building these showers. Did they not build the platforms under them? They didn't. Oh, they're almost done. Weird. I feel like some weird stuff's going on right now. 4 unemployeds doesn't make sense to me. No workers. Oh, that's the other district. So I'm looking at global numbers here right now. And the fact that there's no beavers to fill the jobs at District 2 is why I'm seeing 4 unemployed. If I just look at the one district, you'll see that there's no unfilled jobs. So I'm good. I'm good. We're fine. Sometimes, though, the numbers can be a little bit confusing, which is a shame because the numbers are your best indicators for a lot of things. Let's see, we got a drought coming up, but these are not filling up. And I'm wondering if I need to prioritize these by hauler or for haulers. I don't think I do. It looks like the haulers are doing a pretty good job keeping those moving, actually. So, and even if just 2 of these were full with this population, 70 beavers, I feel pretty comfortable with that. I'm all right with that. Got 10 out of 30 logs here, and this is going to build first. Ooh, the forester. Okay, this second forester never got built yet. That's why there aren't 2 beavers out there. So I'm going to go ahead and make this higher priority. I'm going to make the gristmill lower priority just to make sure it doesn't impede the distribution post at all. But my beavers should be prioritizing logs now to the forester here. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot I have this mill going. Why are these not running? Is there no Power input? Yeah, there's power input. Why is this guy slacking? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and delete this power wheel. I'm going to pause this lumber mill. Once it's empty, I can tear it down. Yeah, I totally forgot that I still had a power wheel. Hi, ACAP39. Welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. I am currently playing Timberborn. This is my second stream on this map, and I'm basically playing through the late early game into the early mid game. And I've just started setting up my second district, planning it out. So once I get my distribution center here and I get some stuff stockpiled at the drop-off point, I'm going to go ahead and send some beavers migrated over. And I'm going to get more paths in here for the eventual water pumps, which I will probably turn on after this drought. Yes, this is a custom map that I built. It's just called Huge Lake. I wanted to have a big map with a massive lake in the middle, and water just goes straight through. There's some natural barriers out here just to kind of slow the water leaving the lake too quickly. Just so you can get that first season or two, that first drought or two, a little easier. But eventually, you know, you want to get a district over here and dam that off anyway, so that you have the whole lake to play with. But yeah, I've got a mine in one corner for some late game metal. I've got one ruins down here, another ruins over here, and another mine down here. So two places to get late game metal from. Should be ample amounts. Oh yeah, like this is a super easy map. It's all flat. The reason I did that was just, one, it takes time to build elevation, and two, it can be frustrating just because the sheer quantity of explosives you have to manufacture and the time it takes to level significant portions of the map is really annoying. So this is just more of a, you know, what do you do in an ideal situation? I've played a lot of the really brutal maps that come with the game already, and, you know, grinded them for days and days and days to like get them whittled down to having a lot of flat land. I just didn't want to do that. Instead, I wanted to focus on just a chill time and, you know, enjoying the game for the building aspect, and less of the you know, blowing things up all day and all night. So I figured, especially for a stream playthrough, that would take so much time that it would be mind-numbing and not very interesting for viewers. So I figured this would be an easier way to deal with that. If I want to share, you mean the map I'm working on, or this map right here? If I want to share that, because I don't remember, but is there Steam Workshop for maps for this game? Is that a thing? Yeah, I don't know either. I think you can. I think you can share custom maps on the Steam Workshop. If that's the case, I can throw this up sometime. I'm going to go ahead and just set up my distribution quantities here for what I'm going to be bringing over to this district. 25 gears, 25 grilled chestnuts. I'm not going to bring them any logs right now, but I'm going to set a cap of 25. Let's see. Paper, 25. Planks, 25. Scrap metal. Water. Yeah. 50 water. All right, cool. Oh, you got it from GOG. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. So I feel you there. Um let's see, and then I'm going to set up my trade routes here. So, first priority, I want to get water. Second priority, I want to get berries. Third priority, I want to get carrots. Fourth priority, I will get planks. Fifth priority, I will get those gears. Let me see. And I think I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do one more thing. What else do we want to send them? Paper. All right. So this will keep them set up for quite a long time. Have I heard about the modding side of the game? I have not. I haven't heard that you can mod the game at all yet. I wouldn't be surprised if you can. And I'm just not up to date on that. I haven't followed the dev blogs for the game for a few months now, so they could have recently added it, or it could be coming in the near future. So I'm not up to date. If you have information, please feel free to share. It's a community one. Oh, so somebody built a modding system that you can drop in the game? Is that what you're saying? Because trust me, I would love to mod this game. There's a lot of things that drive me nuts that I would love to fix. Like the fact that floodgates, you can only go by half heights instead of like tenths of a height. That makes me crazy. It makes me absolutely crazy. I'm going to go ahead and kill a couple of these pumps to conserve some of the water that's in that reservoir. And let's see. I'm probably not going to actually move population until the drought is over. But I can see I got 200 out of 300 storage here. So they've got some water. They've got their berries, carrots, and then some manufacturing materials. So they're going to be set up. I got 15 kids right now growing up. So hopefully, well, certainly by the end of this drought, a bunch of them are going to be adults. And then I can migrate a fairly sizable population down there. A mod that quadruples the terrain height. So by that, I assume you mean the buildable terrain height, so that you can build massive towers that just keep going up forever. I've seen some of those, and it's pretty crazy. I don't personally feel a need to build really high. Is that useful to me? Not to me personally. I don't feel a need to build really high. How do I assign the beavers to actual projects? So you don't assign them to specific projects. What happens is when you plunk something down to be built, they will build it in the order that you plunked things down. If they have the materials to build that thing, how it works as far as builders is you need to have beavers working at your district center. These up to 4 beavers that you have assigned here will do hauling if there's no building tasks, or building if there are building tasks. So when you first start a game, you're going to be dealing with just these 4 haulers and builders. As you get a little further in and you start doing research, you can unlock the builder's hut, which lets you have 4 dedicated to just building. And yeah, what ACAP39 just said, priority as well. Let me see if I've got something in the queue to be built here. So this log pile, you can see here for construction site, there's lowest priority, low priority, average priority, which is the default, higher priority, and highest priority. So you can also use these to control Yeah, so yeah, you need to assign beavers to your district center. That's critical. When you first start a game, those are going to be the only builders that you have is the beavers assigned to district center. So you want to make sure that you have at least two assigned there, and then if there are no building projects, they will fall back to being haulers. So you do always want at least two. I do my best to try and keep it full at all times. And so when you get to late early game, like where I'm at, I set my hauling post as my lowest priority workplace, with my building post and my district center is the next lowest priority. Because the reason for that is I want my water and my farms to be the higher priority. And rather than set these lower, if you want, you can just set your farms and water to higher priority. So it's just a preference thing. And yeah, feel free, ACAP, to jump in and share your experience as well. I don't profess to know everything about this game. I just have a way I like to play it. So definitely just take my preferences with a grain of salt. Oh, to assign. So when you click on your district center, see this workers 404, you can plus and minus to assign workers to it. So that's how you change how many workers you want to be assigned there. And yeah, if you've got it set to 4 and nobody's working there, you can increase the priority of that workplace, and beavers will jump off of other places to come in there. It's grayed out. That's odd. I don't know why it would be grayed out. Yeah, ACAP 39, you got any idea why 0 out of 2? You're clicking on your district center? Because that should be out of 4. You have 4 slots in a district center. Are you playing like the tutorial map? That I'm wondering if that might be different. It's been almost a year since I played the tutorial, so I don't know if that's a different experience or what. I'm just trying to think right now what buildings, if any, take 2 workers though. Plains 256 by 256 is still the same. Playing on easy. Yeah, the difficulty shouldn't change any of the base mechanics on buildings. The difficulty just changes how frequently you get droughts and how long they last. Hey, that's okay. I'm leaking my brain through the whole stream. That's kind of what we do as streamers, so don't feel bad. I'm doing the same thing here. But yeah, every district center should allow you to assign up to 4 beavers, regardless of what difficulty setting you're playing on. I think even the tutorial, it should be up to 4 beavers. When did I start playing? I started playing about a year ago, pretty much as soon as it came out in early access. It came up as in the Steam advertisements, and I went, oh God, it's a beaver game. I have to play it. I mean, I have to. I love cute critters, so you know it was a total no-brainer for me. Still waiting on 18 logs there, so I'm still timber starved. Yeah, I've gone away and come back to this game. I'm actually playing it on the experimental branch on Steam. So I'm getting the latest updates and improvements as the developers drop them. So usually when they do a big patch update, I'll come and play it for a week or two again, do 1 or 2 playthroughs on maps, and then, you know, kind of, I don't want to say get bored with it, but like I've checked out all the new features. And so I'll put it down for a while and play something else. So all right, little automated messages. It only took 2 hours into my stream for that to come up. Good job, Streambot or Streamlabs. Yeah. Let's see. How would I get your map? That's the biggest question. Do you have a URL to it? I don't have URLs blocked in my chat. So if you have it posted somewhere with a URL, then feel free to post that in the chat for me or anybody else who's watching to pick that up. And how am I doing on water here? I got 3 days left in the drought, and let's see if I click that, I should be able to see through the water. Got a little over half of my water left, so I feel pretty comfortable leaving that. I'm halfway through the drought, so that's a little tight. So I think actually I'm going to turn off one more pump house just to make sure we get through that drought with water left over there. The link includes SA view down 482. 2 versions of one map. Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to take a look at your map. If you can post a URL to it, or you can also look me up on Discord. My Discord information is in my About page. So if you flip over to the About tab, my Discord link is in there. I think it's my Discord link. My Discord username, at least, should be in there. So hit me up there. I think I may have also posted my Telegram. So, you can send it to me via either of those methods too. I am not on the Timberborn Discord server. The way I communicate with the Timberborn devs and community is on their forum site. They built a custom forum site for feedback and community recommendations, bugs, tracking, all that kind of stuff. So I use their official community forum to do all my communication about Timberborn. I'm in way too many Discord servers already, so including game projects I'm working on myself right now. So I try to limit to some extent how many Discords I'm in, because I just can't keep up with all of them. Let's see. Okay, I really want to get through this drought, so I'm just going to go to speed 3. I see my grist mill is up, so they're going to start turning wheat into flour. Interestingly, I lost wheat. Where did that go? I bet it's being stored here, isn't it? It is. Okay, that's where the wheat went. My Discord is Ursa Polaris, just like you see in the bottom of the stream there. Ursa Polaris number 4725. And I'll go ahead and type that in the chat as well. See, it's easier to copy paste the whole thing at once. Yeah, it's actually with S's and some uppercase letters. Discord names are case sensitive, so yeah, just copy paste what I threw in chat there, and you should be able to add me on Discord. And then yeah. The name Ursa Polaris was already taken on Twitch by the time I got to Twitch, so had to be creative. And I also used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and actually worked at Wizards of the Coast for 2 years. Initially on Magic, and then on Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition. So I figured Urza would be a cool way to change the spelling on that. Oh, timberbornmaps.com. Ooh, Magic. Magic is another one of those love-hate games for me. I love the idea, but the fact that all anybody wants to play is meta, uh, just sucks. By the way, that's the same reason I don't play Warhammer anymore. I used to be really big into the Warhammer tabletop game, but all anybody does is play meta. I mean, it's just, oh, I saw on this website this is the most powerful army build, and so I built my whole army on that build, and I don't own any other miniatures except that army. And yeah, it just drove me nuts. You'd play tournaments and it's 24 people playing the same two armies against each other with no creativity or anything. It made me crazy. Just in time. The lake just finished draining the first level when the drought ended. So fortunate timing. All right, I got 21 unemployed beavers. I'm going to go ahead and migrate now. And I do not like the new UI that they have for migrating populations. It is so super confusing. When you just have two districts, it's fairly easy. I understand. I got adults here. I want to move 10. I want to move 12. Okay, so boom, they're migrated now. When I close this, you're going to see those beavers run down to, and you can see they're already got their jobs here. So they're running down to the new district, the 12 beavers that I sent, and they're going to start working, putting them beavers to work. All right. Oh, I haven't set tree cutting areas for this guy yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Give him work to do, and they're going to be pulling in a ton of logs. It's super tempting to start sending logs from this district up to that district. Don't do it, because what's going to happen is you're going to then timber starve this district before they're able to get up and running. So let your new district burn through the wood that it has in its area before you start sending their wood elsewhere. Get your forestry set up first. Don't mess around with that. You'll be sad. It'll be sad days. All right. So if it's meta, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. With Final Fantasy. Hey, ACAP, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Definitely helps me grow my channel. Timberborn's just one of many games I play. I'm a big proponent of Star Citizen, and I do a lot of Star Citizen streams as well. I'm taking a little bit of break from that because I'm a little bit burnt out on the current patch in Star Citizen. We have a new one coming out in roughly 3 or 4 weeks. So I'll be doing a lot more Star Citizen once that's out. Until then, I'm going to be playing Timberborn and probably do some Dyson Sphere project as well. Play your map. I'll probably check it out offline and then let you know what I think offline. And I mean, hey, if it's a cool map, I might do a stream on it for 1 or 2 sessions. So yeah, Star Citizen, I'm gonna be straight up honest. Don't do it if you can't afford it. Seriously, please do not. It can be like a gambling addiction where you're blowing money you don't have. I've seen a lot of people do that. It's not healthy. So please, if you can afford it, it's absolutely worth it. It's a fantastic game. It does have pretty high PC requirements as well. You're going to need at least a 7th gen or better processor to run it, and at least a 1080 GPU or better. Yeah, so definitely invest in hardware before you start investing in spaceships. That would be my advice. And then if you are going to invest in the spaceships, don't don't spend more than you can afford. Do not make yourself hungry to play the game. There are plenty of people like me who own all of the ships in the game. We're happy to spawn them for people. So find people like that. Typically, we're called legatus. So find us, friend us, play the game with us. It is really a multiplayer focused game. So finding friends to play it with, I think is going to bring you the most joy. Don't waste a ton of money. Buy the ships you need before the ships you want. So usually you ask the stream time. Can you clarify? Also, a couple months after SC patch release, people are pretty generous with in-game money. That's true to an extent. When I stream, that's in my schedule. That's when I'm guaranteed to stream. I also do streams outside of my schedule if I have like an hour and a half to 2 hours here and there. Is there a Discord for my SC group? I don't have an SC group per se. And what we call them in Star Citizen is orgs, organizations. I have my own little industrial org that's just like me and some close friends. That's probably because I played EVE Online for 14 years and I'm a little bit protective. And I'm not really sure where Star Citizen is going with organizations right now. It is a little early in the game to be grouping up into organizations, I think, in Star Citizen. So that doesn't mean don't go join orgs. Yes, there's some very toxic orgs, without a doubt. Not going to lie about that. I've been in some of them. Ironically, I've been in a lot of orgs that belong to other streamers. And I found that those are the most toxic orgs. Because it's a lot of notice me senpai, kind of people that are in those orgs. So if you do join an org, look for a chillax, like laid back org that doesn't have hard commitments, that does not require exclusivity. That is a major pet peeve of mine right now in Star Citizen, is many orgs, especially any military themed orgs, require you to be an exclusive member, meaning you can't join any other orgs. And there are a lot of great community-based orgs that are just concept orgs, right? That you can join to find people to play with, and that often have Discord servers and a lot of resources available. So join those orgs. Don't join like the hardcore military, what they call PMC orgs, especially if they're exclusive. So just avoid exclusive orgs right now. It's way too early in the development. It's an alpha game. Don't go hardcore into orgs. Join community-based orgs. There are literally hundreds of Discord servers for Star Citizen. Some of them are org-based. Some of them are community-based. Some of them are theme-based. Some of them are based on how much money you've dropped on this game. The main org I'm in on Discord is the Legatus group. We're all the crazy bastards who've spent more than 25,000. I know that's a lot of money on Star Citizen so far. Please don't spend that kind of money if you can't afford it. Remember, I've spent that money over the course of 10 years. So yes, it sounds like a lot, but it's like $3,000 a year. It's really not that much when you cover all of that time. So don't go crazy with it. And don't worry about like, I have to have all the ships before the game launches. You can buy all of the ships in game, just like Elite Dangerous. Grind for a week or two doing something in a ship you do have, and you will make the money to buy another different ship and be able to do that profession for a while. to buy another different ship and do that profession, or buy the next bigger ship in the profession that you are already doing if that's what you enjoy. There's going to be over 20 different professions in Star Citizen. There's a massive need to crew the big multi-crew ships. So if you enjoy engineering gameplay, if you enjoy science gameplay, if you enjoy gods know why, but like loading and unloading cargo, there are careers for that in that game. So there's a lot you can do. You like to be a pilot? You like to be a turret gunner? Oh my God, the number of turret gunners people need for their ships in that game. You don't really have to own a ship at all aside from the starter package. You can just put yourself out there as, hey, I love the turret gun. If you're going to take out a Karak or a Hammerhead or a Connie, I will come man your main gun for you, right? People will love you. So there's plenty you can do in that game that doesn't even require ships. Just buy the base game package. I would recommend either a Titan Avenger. Is it Avenger? I think it's the Avenger you can buy. Anyway, there's a Titan starter package. That's a good one. There's a Nomad starter package. That's a pretty good one. Pick one of those two. That gets you in the game forever. You never have to spend another cent. That gets you in the game forever, and you can just make friends either in-game or in Discord and be all set. I mean, there's so much to do in that game. Yeah, so the wipes, yeah, a lot of people are a little bit, not gonna lie, butthurt about that. Oh crap, I'm out of water. Okay, well, to make up for that, I'm gonna go put some more water pumps down. These guys are full up on wood, so I'm gonna need to build them housing. Yeah, they're all sleeping on the ground. That's not cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop housing there, 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 and there. All right. And then give them a way up onto the roof and into the next row of housing that gets built. All right, so they're going to be set. That's going to use up their wood, free up more space to build this out. I'm going to go ahead and start building the roadway out there a little bit more so that they can start getting their own water supply. All right, everybody here's thirsty. Oh boy. Yep. Well, I wasn't paying attention to the game for a while. Reputation can stay for wipes. That being said, Reputation is about to get wiped in the next patch, 3.18. So if you wanted to keep your rep, you're not going to be able to. The reason for that is PES moves over to an entirely new database system, and rather than write all of the complex scripts that they would need to migrate over your reputation, they are just going to wipe it back to zero. So the good news is once PES is out, which is the 3.18 patch, they probably aren't going to do a wipe for quite some time, maybe 6 months or a year. That being said, the longer they go between wipes, the more money and things people build up, and the more butthurt they're going to be the next time a wipe comes down the pipe. So, in my opinion, not necessarily a great thing that wipes become less and less common, because it's going to cause more and more furor in the community. So, if only it were that simple. A lot of the database stuff they're using and the technology they're using is really, really advanced cloud services infrastructure stuff that is not developed on any kind of like open framework. So it's very non-trivial to do the ability to move that stuff around between the old database and the new database that they're moving to right now. That's actually what I do for a living in the game industry, is primarily data science and data management. So I'm intimately familiar with all of that. Very non-trivial. Not easy to deal with. And that's just the unfortunate way it is. So I understand, where SIG's at. I sympathize with, the challenges and limitations that SIG has. Also keep in mind that probably about 70 to 80% of their devs right now are working on the single player Squadron 42 game, not on the Persistent Universe public MMO game. So the Persistent Universe is getting a lot less attention than a lot of us would like, and that's part of why that development is taking so long, is that Squadron 42 is really getting the first and last. Well, I'm honored I could be the first and last for the month for you. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, Star Citizen is a whole big thing. If you're interested in that, on my channel, I got you. All right, well, hey, I still appreciate you coming by and chatting. That's important to me, and hopefully you got something out of it. I know I did, so thank you for your help, and I'll take a look at your map and hit you up on on Discord. But yeah, Star Citizen, follow me, come back, hang out. I do try to post in advance what games I'm going to be playing when. Like I said, I probably won't be doing much streaming with Star Citizen, even though some of my scheduled stuff still says Star Citizen, until we get pretty close to the IAE, International Aerospace Expo, which comes in late November. So once we get closer to that, I'll be doing more streaming on Star Citizen, but max server 100 or 200. Are you talking about Star Citizen? Because currently Star Citizen caps at 110 in the current patch. Oh, Discord server. I don't think there is a cap, right? Oh, there's a cap on how many servers you can be in. I'm probably in about 40 to 50 right now, and that is already way more than I can keep up with. The overwhelming majority of those servers that I'm in, I have muted because I can't keep up with everything that's going on there. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, when you're streaming and you're working full time, and I'm working on game projects, myself as well. So time is a premium. So speaking of which, I'm actually over my stream time, but I've been having fun hanging out, and yeah, you can hit me up with useful mods in Discord if you want, if you have any links, or just names or whatever. But I'm actually going to wrap up my stream here because I need to work in the morning. So I'm just going to get one more overview of what's going on with my beavers. Didn't make a ton of progress tonight. That's okay. This is a fairly slow-paced game. So next time I stream, I'll just take this a little further. I also just got a new game called Cosmoteer that I'm really liking the look of, so I'll probably start a new game of that next week and start doing a couple streams a week on that. So if that interests you, that is a space building and exploration sandbox game. I'm really into sandbox games, so excited about that, and looking forward to streaming that a bit too. So my beavers look like they're in a pretty decent state right now. So I'm going to go ahead and save my game. Boop-de-doop. And then I'm just going to check and see if, let's see if I have any friends to raid. Nope, none of my friends are online right now. Monday's not a very big streaming night, so that's what it is. It is Monday. Your apartment complex in Timberborn. Do you have like a screen cap? Can you post a URL to the screen cap? 4 pictures. Okay. Do you have URLs to them? You can drop them in the chat. Winter is coming. We're actually getting our first hard frost tonight. So, yeah, you can drop a Discord URL in here. That should be fine. And I'm quite certain that I have URLs enabled, so you should be able to put that in here in the chat without a problem. No way, is it blocked for real? All right, let me see if I can unblock that. I don't know why it would be doing that. Let me see. Am I in mod view? I'm in mod view. Why won't it let me... Why won't it let me make those visible? Let's see. And then the question is, like, which tool is actually blocking those URLs? Well, drop those in Discord to me, and I'll take a look at them personally. I mean, I wouldn't mind you being able to share them in the stream, but I don't have time right now to, like, dig through all of the account settings and figure out why it's blocking URLs. But I will try to get that unblocked before my next stream so that if you do come back, you can drop some links in as well. I know that in my base configuration, I made URLs droppable, so I don't know why they're not showing up. It might be something that Streamlabs is doing to me, so I sincerely apologize for that. It shouldn't be blocking URLs because I can just mod out any offensive URLs that anybody posts, so it shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, thanks, folks, for coming by tonight and watching my stream. If you haven't yet and you enjoyed my content, please follow, come on back, and I look forward to chatting with you guys down the road. Again, I stream at least 4 times a week, posted on my schedule, so you can keep track of me there. I also take videos like this and put them up on YouTube. Mainly as a way for people to find my stream here. So you don't have to go follow me on YouTube or anything like that if you don't want to. But I do post other gameplay videos up there too. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for coming by tonight. Like I said, I don't have a raid to send you guys off to. So I'm going to call it a night here and say thank you once again. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your feedback and conversations. So thanks for keeping me company tonight, and hopefully you had fun. And I will catch you next time. Take it easy, everyone.